The $1,000 rule. We've all been there, right? It's the middle of the night, you can't sleep, so you open up your banking app, you start doing that mental math. You know the one. Rent's due, car payment, all the bills. And what's left over creates that familiar sinking feeling in your stomach. But what if there was just one more line item in there? A small, steady deposit that changed the entire equation. Because that's the real shift we're talking about today. It's not about being rich overnight. It's about this one powerful idea. The moment you are no longer technically broke. That little bit of breathing room, well, it creates a universe of difference in how you see the world, and more importantly, how you can operate in it. My name is Lucas, and for nearly a decade, I've been deeply focused on uncovering the hidden psychological patterns that distinguish financial stress from lasting financial peace. 1. The anxiety trap. For so many of us, this is just the normal way of life. You're living one bad month, one unexpected trip to the mechanic, one surprise medical bill away from total disaster. Every single financial decision you make is filtered through this lens of immediate survival, not long-term growth. And man, it is an exhausting way to live. And what's happening is this constant low-level panic. It actually messes with your ability to think clearly. When your brain is always running worst-case scenarios, every decision you make comes from a place of fear. And that scarcity mindset, well, it's a trap. It forces you into these short-term reactive choices that keep you stuck right where you are, year after year after year. 2. The 1K circuit breaker. So how in the world do you break that cycle? Well, that brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer, what we're calling a psychological circuit breaker. See, it's not about trying to become a millionaire in a year. It's about hitting one very specific, very powerful milestone. Let's put a name on it. We're calling it the 1K rule. The key thing to get here is that earning an extra $1,000 a month passively does something profound to your brain. It literally acts like a circuit breaker. It shuts off that constant nagging hum of financial anxiety, and it completely rewires how you think about money, about risk, and about opportunity. And you can really see the split right here. Below that $1,000 a month line, your world is just dominated by scarcity and fear. But the moment you cross it, your entire mindset shifts. Suddenly, you're operating from a place of possibility and strategy. You're not just trying to survive anymore, you're actually starting to build. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about something. This isn't fun money. This is not for fancy dinners or a new wardrobe. This is survival money. It's just enough to cover the basics. Groceries, utilities, the essentials. It's just enough to quiet that primitive, panicked voice in the back of your head that's always screaming, "We're not safe." That feeling of calm, that's the foundation for everything else. 3. Lifestyle inflation. The number one mistake. Okay, so you did it. You hit the milestone. You built that $1,000 a month stream. I'm telling you, this is the single most dangerous moment in your entire financial life. Because this right here is where most people make the number one mistake that keeps them trapped forever. Here it is, the wrong path, the one almost everyone takes. They get that new passive income, and what's the very first thing they do? They upgrade their life. A nicer car, a better apartment, more eating out. And the result? They're right back to living paycheck to paycheck, just with more expensive stuff. The trap has been reset, but at a higher level. I absolutely love this metaphor because it's just so perfect. Treating your first passive income stream like spending money is exactly like cooking the golden goose. Yeah, you get one nice meal tonight, but you completely destroy the source of all your future wealth. It's a short-sighted move driven purely by impulse. And don't fool yourself. This is what almost everybody does. Maybe 90% of people fall right into this trap. Your brain is screaming at you, reward yourself, you worked hard for this, and you did. But giving into that impulse, that need for an immediate reward, that's the very thing that destroys the foundation for real freedom you just worked so hard to build. 4. The snowball effect. So if spending it is the wrong move, what's the right one? Well, it's all about resisting that temptation. It's about putting that golden goose to work, creating more golden geese. This is how you start the snowball effect. This is the path to life-changing wealth. It all starts right here with your first stream, $1,000 a month. This is not your paycheck. This is seed money. So annually, that's $12,000. That's your new investment capital. Think about that. That's 12 grand a year you now have to put to work building even more income, and you don't have to touch a single penny from your day job to do it. And this is where time and consistency just do incredible things. If you just reinvest that $12,000 every single year and you earn a pretty reasonable 8% return, in about 13 years, you've built a portfolio worth $250,000, $250,000. And that's from only reinvesting that first passive income stream. But here is where the magic really happens. That new pile of $250,000, it's now generating its own passive income, about another $860 a month. You've almost doubled your original stream without doing any extra work. Your money is making money, which is now making more money. The snowball is getting bigger and rolling faster. I mean, this chart just makes the stakes painfully clear. That little lifestyle upgrade, that extra $50 a month on restaurants, it's not costing you $50. You're actually trading away $15,000 in future wealth. That shinier car with the higher payment, you're giving up 60 grand down the line. When you see the real opportunity cost, it makes it a lot harder to justify cooking that goose. 5. New financial mindset. And this brings us right back to the most important transformation of all. Because the ultimate reward for all of this discipline isn't just the money, it's the permanent change that happens between your ears. Just look at the difference here. Without that buffer, your decisions are desperate, anxious, and reactive. You take what you can get. But with it, you become patient, you become strategic, you become opportunistic. You can afford to wait for the right deal because you're not in a constant state of emergency. What this buffer really buys you isn't stuff, it buys you options. It buys you the power to negotiate a better salary because you're not desperate for the job. It buys you the confidence to take a calculated risk on a business idea. It buys you the freedom to pick a job for the experience, not just the paycheck. It buys you leverage. And here is the great secret to all of this. Getting from zero to your first 1,000 is the hardest part. It's a brutal fight against scarcity, fear, and your own disbelief. But once you've done it, once you have the system, and more importantly, the mindset, scaling up from $1,000 to $10,000 a month is an execution problem, not a psychological one. That path gets so much shorter. Conclusion. I want you to really let this sink in. That first huge milestone, that's not the finish line. It isn't the prize you get to cash in and spend. It's the entry fee. It is the down payment you make on a future of real, genuine financial freedom. So you have to guard it. You have to treat that first income stream not as pocket money, but as the single most valuable asset you have. It's the foundation for everything that's coming next. Your entire financial future is built on how you handle this first crucial win. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether it's a month from now or a year from now, that first $1,000 in passive income is coming. The only question is, what are you going to treat it as? Is it going to be a brief reward that you spend, or is it going to be the seed money for the rest of your life? The choice is yours.